at 10 o'clock in the morning, so a lot of people on a Friday, so a lot of people are at work.
Right.
And I'm super grateful that I do this full time and I can be on here, and a lot of people here as well. So thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah. So yes, John, I met in Anaheim. I think what year it was. It might have been 3 years ago now.
3 years ago, probably, yeah.
Yeah, at the global the convention, Enagic convention, and
right.
He's a powerhouse on stage. I really enjoy your presence, and very positive, very upbeat, and really enjoyed that. And so you're the global communications for Enagic USA.
Right.
Yeah, and PR. So this, you know, I do get to PM Don with a few questions and things, and I know I've been messaging lately about having an event here in New Zealand, which
I think you definitely need one. Definitely.
And sooner maybe than later. So yeah, and so I'm asking advice around that, because we'd really like people that have been in the industry for a long time to be able to contribute to that in Enagic.
Yeah, I think you would get some big leaders to come over there, because it is an untapped area, and you know, you all roll up under Cynthia Briganti. She's one of the brand new 26s.
Yes.
So there's only 3 in the world. If you had someone of her caliber, I think you also go up through Eli, and as you said, Bob Gridelli. It would make an awesome opportunity for them to travel to New Zealand and say, here's what we're doing around the world, not just in America. Here's what works. Let's try it here. And then you can try to you know, dry run it and say, okay, some of that works here, some of it doesn't. And because of that, we came up with this brand new idea to try this or that or the other thing. And within Enagic, people don't have a problem closing. They're all good. They know product. They know how to speak. People have problem opening. They come to us and say, where do I find somebody to talk to? So once I got them, we're good to go. I can speak. I know the company. I know the comp plan. I know the devices. I know how important this is to change in my life. But you can't close who you don't open.
Yes, absolutely. That is so true. And I think for a lot of distributors, that can be a real issue. They're passionate about the product. They're passionate about the comp plan, but it's that step.
Right. And I know they do have opportunities, and they'll say, hey, well, I'm starting to meet people here or there. There's always been maybe 2 or 3 camps with, I hate to use the word network marketing, because Mr. Oshiro calls this human-based marketing, HB.
I like that.
He doesn't like to say, we're not doing Amway, we're not doing Melaleuca, we're not doing, you know, ABC, whatever. But it all comes down to, some of them are face-to-face. Let's say that, Kelly, you're talking to your college friend at a Starbucks, and you live in the same city, and you maybe have some same contacts, and there's that touch feel, right? That was primarily Enagic's market for about 13 to 15 years. But recently, things like we're doing exactly right here, I'm going to call them intranet-based or cyber sales, is really catching on. You're finding the youth do this a lot, because I'm talking to a lot of these 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds. They don't want to do a one-on-one pitch, right? They're going to say, listen, I'm going to sit down and talk to this guy for 45 minutes. I would rather talk to him and 25 of his friends on a Zoom meeting, right? And think of it, I'm using the same amount of energy. It's the same information coming. We can tape it so that the people that aren't there can share it on different forms of social media. But that conversation that you have at Starbucks is gone. It's a one-time event in time, and then you have to replicate it over and over. So hopefully some of the leaders here could, and I don't know if that's happening in New Zealand, you'd have to fill me in there on what type of, and I call those opening techniques. Like, how do I reach somebody? Do you find, is that happening yet?
Yeah, I guess for me, my whole team knows I'm pretty old school. I am pretty old school. So, you know, we're still doing, we're doing a bit of online, but mainly, I would have to say mainly offline. We've got fantastic new leaders in our team here, Shelley, Linda. They're very, you know, familiar with online, with computers and bits and pieces. So I guess I'm learning in that respect as well. But we have got something put together, which will be very, very soon, which we can use as a tool to do these Zoom calls, to do that as well. Because you can definitely reach out to a lot of people. But I think keeping the balance is really important. Is actually getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, you're going to need belly-to-belly sales because there's a human interaction going on. And then some of these newer techniques, or what I'm just going to call just efficiency. How can I say the same message? You know, imagine if you went to a movie theater and only had one chair. You had to show the movie one person at a time. They'd go broke, even if they charged $500 a ticket. So the reason they put all those people in there is to show everybody the same message, maximize the exposure, and get as many revenue ticket sales as they can. So maybe there's a little bit of that could go on.
Absolutely, and would really love some advice around that and what's working for other people, I guess, who are actually doing it already.
And you know, you can create a hybrid of this. So let's say, Kelly, let's say you know me, and you say, Don, I'm kind of old school. I'm going to come over to your house. I'm going to demo your family. We're going to talk. It's not to say that you couldn't tape that entire presentation, give it to your downline and say, hey, I know you guys are a little nervous, you're 1As, you've got a prospect, but instead of losing that prospect, why don't you send them this demo? And then they look at it and say, gosh, I'd like that to happen in my house. Yeah. And it gives the people a little bit more confidence to say, well, here's the role model. Here's what I have to attain to. They're already impressed with that. No matter what I do, I'm not going to hurt that. Yeah. And people are very forgiving. They'll allow, whatever to happen. So I just think we may have this sense of perfectionism. We have to be scientists to do the demo or something, or it has to be 6 hours long or something, or it has to have 25 quotes from PubMed or something. That no, I say, I've known Mr. Oshiro for 14 years. I've never seen him do a demo once.
Yeah.
In my entire life have I seen Mr. O do a demo or talk about chemistry. Not once in my whole life.
Not one. Wow.
Yeah, but he's a master. He's a master. I mean, we're talking Gandhi level at relating with people.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that. So Don, could you touch on? I mean, you've got a very special relationship with Mr. Shiro, and I really want, from what just meeting him that small amount of time that I did in America, I felt it. Like I really felt the heart of what Enagic really was, and because of this man, he's just so special. So I'm wondering, would you be able to talk a little bit more about Mr. Shiro and his whole vision for Enagic? Because I think a lot of people feel it already. We feel it because we're on the water as well. But just feeling that whole, what we're part of, and really grateful to be part of that.
Well, I think to understand Enagic, most people go and they look at a big conglomerate like GE or Apple or something, and they look at the founder and they say, wow, he must have wanted to spread iPhones to everybody. Wow, those guys must have wanted to sell Ford cars to everybody. They see the company equals the product. You have to look at Mr. O's background and say, he's downtrodden, he's the castaway, he's Okinawan in Japan, which is someone they make fun of because they talk differently, they look different, they don't even live in Japan. Okinawa is closer to China than it is to Japan, so they're very much an outcast. And they grow up, specifically Mr. O, grows up in the middle of World War II. What are you going to do with your life? His parents have zero money. Matter of fact, his siblings passed away during the war from malaria, so he didn't have a lot of choices. Nobody's filling out college applications for him. Nobody's paving the road. He's lucky if he could get a Walmart job back then. So he's the one who says, wait a minute, there's got to be a second chance for those of us who are disadvantaged. So he never created Enagic for sultans and kings and the rich of the world and the Uber movie stars up in Hollywood. That wasn't his gig at all. It was for the disadvantaged housewife who's got 3 kids to feed and maybe whose husband is sick and can't work, or the person who just keeps failing job after job after job, just can't hold down a job because maybe they're not cut out for a job. Maybe they're just cut out to really be an entrepreneur and they haven't found their niche. So if you see Enagic that way, you see that the water is a trick. It's a complete trick. If you think about it, Mr. O picked the most basic substance in the world. And he said, if I can get you to change this, I can get you to change a lot of other things. Namely, how compassionate you are to others, your financial situation, maybe your zip code, maybe your house, maybe your car, maybe the college that your kids go to. But I think where we fail is where we stop at the water. We say it's just about changing your water. Once you change your water, everything else in your life changes. And I don't ascribe to that. I don't think it's that. He wanted to give something simple so you can get used to the idea of change. And change is a neat beast because everybody wants change. It's just they don't want to do the changing, right?
Yeah.
Like Kelly, if you and I are married, I'd say, Kelly, I would love for things to change. Just you start changing. I'd be happier, right? And you say, well, it's not going to work that way, Don. It's not going to work that way at all. So he said, if you can get used to the idea of editing or changing your life, and he started with water. He didn't say change your sneakers, change your life. He didn't say change your mascara, change your, cigarette brand. I mean, he didn't pick specific things that people could say, me, I don't do that. As far as I know, there's two basic substances in the face of the earth that we all play with, air and water.
Yeah.
Now, food is a troubling one, because what if you'd said change your hamburger, change your life? All the vegetarians would have been out. Yeah. Or what if you said, change your broccoli, change your life? Then all the meat eaters would have said, no, broccoli can't do that. So he picked an extremely basic substance. He mastered it. He said, I'm going to make this super healthy for you. And once you get used to doing away with things, and think of it, I think most of the effects you get from Kangen water is also totally aligned with what you refrain from. Think about that. People say, oh, Kangen water changed my life. I tell them that's only half the equation. The other half is what stopped drinking. So Kelly, if you came to me and said, Don, I've got this amazing program. You're going to quit smoking. And you're going to be healthier in a year. All you're going to do every day is take this purple little pill. Now, at the end of that year, I'm definitely going to be healthier, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it was the pill or if it was quitting smoking, but I definitely know quitting smoking had a lot to do with it, right? Mm. So I think what we're noticing is refrain is more important than embrace. So it's what we're refraining from. I haven't had a soda in, 13 years now.
Yeah.
And God forbid, if I bought a Coca-Cola to work, I'd be like ostracized. These people would be putting, burning stakes up around me. It would not go well, right? So we got to look at that. I think how we're educating people is as much what to drink as it is what not to drink. And once they get used to that, you can say, well, hey, would you like to change your wallet? And they say, what do you mean? Should I just buy a new wallet? No. I want to change your wallet health. I know that financial cancer will kill you just as quick as liver cancer. And I know here in America, we have a dire situation financially. Things are not good for people here. And if I were to line up 10 people in a room and say, we've got 2 seminars going on today. The seminar over here is all about hydrogen and water and chemistry and PubMed reports and, doctors with PhDs after their name, and we're going to give you this much material at the end of the thing. It's 25 pounds of documents. That's one seminar. The seminar over here, we're going to talk about revolutionizing your financial life. You want an extra $500, $1,000, $5,000 in your family's bank account every month. And we're going to have some very basic, easy to replicate, normal people speak to you over there. Which do you think they would pick? Yeah, I'm pretty sure 9 of them would go over to the finance seminar. But see, here's the thing with people in Enagic, we're so focused on saying you need to change your water. We forget they may need to change their wallet, or they may need to change what I'm going to call their relationship health. They're either lonely, they miss hanging out with people, they like the community that Enagic offers. So that's why I'm wondering, in your team, whatever you lead with determines where the conversation is going to flow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. So true. And I guess, we can do the whole pitch on the water and that, and you'll hear that person say, oh yeah, everyone in this room wants a machine, but we can't afford it.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, it's the opposite. You can't afford to let your family suffer financially as much as you are suffering right now. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we do the best business overseas in both Malaysia and Indonesia. Price of the unit over there is $40,000 US. 40 grand. You got to let that sink in.
Wow.
When you nominate what the price is in their currency, it's the buying power of 40,000 US. Now, if you came to me and told me, Don, you can change your life, you can get out of the job that you're in, you're going to be earning serious money within 2 to 3 years, your kids are going to go to a different school, everything's going to be different about your life, and you only need to spend 40 grand, I'd be like, I need to borrow that tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to own my own franchise. Where here in the West, we can say, hey, it's only $4,000. I think sometimes the price is a deterrent. It should be higher. Yeah. Now, granted, we're not going to go raise the price. But if you learn some techniques to just talk to people about, are you settling for the average life that you have, and I'm showing you an epic life that you can live, what would you choose if price were no consideration? So we've always taught, especially here in America, is don't lead with the water. Don't even start with the demo of Kangen water. Sit down, get to know these people, find out, we like to ask them, if you had a crystal ball, if you were looking in a crystal ball and you could see your life and you had a little genie there and you could say, out of 3 different things in your life, whether it was your physical health, whether it was your financial fitness, or whether it was your friendships, which would you change first? If you knew you had to master all 3 of those things, which takes priority? It's very, very rare that somebody says, I want to get in better physical condition. That's very rare.
Yeah, true.
Without a doubt, almost 80 to 90% say, I need more cash. Getting more cash, I can take better care of my body. I can go to the gym. I can eat better food. I can take better care of myself. But if we understand that, we're not serving our customer by serving them something else. So imagine, Kelly, if I come to your restaurant and I'm a vegetarian, and the first thing you put down on my plate is a steak. I'm going to say, listen, I came here for vegetables. But Kelly, you're going to say, yeah, but Don, I love steak. And when I changed my steak, I changed my life.
I love it.
I'm going to say, Kelly, that's for you, right? But what about me, right? I'm a vegetarian. I need to change my broccoli or change my asparagus to change my life.
Yeah.
So if we see it in those kind of ways, then go for the one health. And remember, we talk about 3, not just one in Enagic. Go for that one health that your client needs. I think we overshadow a lot. We come barging in and we say, this is the best water in the world. You've got to change your water, change your water, change your water. And imagine if I walked into your house, Kelly, and I said, you need to change your toilet paper. You got the wrong toilet paper. You just don't know. You're just unenlightened as to toilet paper. Now me, I'm a toilet paper expert. And I've studied toilet paper. I know the capacity, I know the weave and all this. And I said, you just have the wrong toilet paper. You'd freak out. You'd say, you need to leave my house.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Right. But we have to be careful about doing that with water, the same thing. So rather than pushing it down their throat and making them feel as if they're almost stupid because they don't know any different, lead them to the idea that changing their water will change their life.
Yeah. Because it's not change your water, change your health, is it?
Exactly. And that brings me back to Mr. Oshiro. When he's growing up, he has done the other side of the fence. He's worked in a civil service job. He's worked at Sony. That's a conglomerate. He was a distributor with Sony. He never worked corporate side, so he was a distributor just like you.
Distributor. Okay.
Yeah. He knows the whole thing. I got to make this quota every month. I got to get this much product out the door. I got this many salespeople. Imagine the stress, even though you're making good money, but imagine the stress of doing that day after day, month after month, year after year. And when Sony did take that fall with Beta, you would have thought, hey, they were going to protect him, right? He was just another cog in the whole system. They said, no, Hironari, you're on your own.
Yeah.
So no honor, no duty. He was just left to rot. But if he'd had his own business with Enagic, nobody can let you down but yourself.
Yeah.
So I think he created that so that you guys would be in charge of your own destiny.
Yeah.
You'd be the person to make those decisions. Do I wake up today and hit it hard? Or is today the day to go down to the beach and relax because I've earned it? Or is it a nice little mix of both? But you really do have complete domain over whatever you do in Enagic.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. I'm so excited. Excited for all of us here and anyone that we, absolutely. Because it's literally, you can see life changing and how, what better thing to be involved with. It's so good. It's so easy to think about anyway. In a business that, and it just rewards you and it's
right.
Fantastic. So Mr. Oshiro, has there ever been talks about him coming to Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, I took the very, very first trip with Mr. O back there. It must have been 9, 10, 11 years ago, and we hugged koalas. We did the whole thing. Here's how this guy works. This is the secret to Mr. O. Okay, don't tell Mrs. O that I'm telling you this because she'll slap me hard. Okay, the secret to Mr. Oshiro is challenge. You never go to Mr. Oshiro and say, everything's working wonderfully. We'd love to entertain you. He says, no, I must come there to help, to build, to create something. So you challenge him by saying, Mr. O, we've hit our plateau. We're only doing 500 or 750, whatever the heck your number is. With you here, I think we could hit $2,000. And without you, it's just never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know, you are the key person. Now, number one, he's a man, and men love to hear that, right? You know, you've got to say, you're this, you know, come be our hero. We need you, Chief. And he's also a very dominant, you know him. He's an aggressive, let's take it on. He doesn't shy away from that. So if you position that, maybe you got your leaders together and the 6As underneath yourself. I'm talking cross line, because if you had an event, it doesn't only have to be your team.
Yeah.
And then the most important thing is to just fill whatever auditorium or hotel room you get with clients. Because for Mr. O just to speak to distributors, that's good, but he could do that via YouTube, or he could do that via Skype. If a client sees him and says, oh my God, this is not just about water. What this guy just said, this is not just a company. As a matter of fact, this guy's more Gandhi than he is Steve Jobs. I want to follow that. And I honestly do think that Mr. Oshiro has much more of a Gandhi-like personality than he has a Steve Jobs personality.
Yeah, he's just all about the people, isn't he? Oh, yeah. And his wife, beautiful.
Yeah, and you put that out there a couple months, and you have a lot of PR time. We could help you do that, get a lot of eyeballs on it. And I think most people would be drawn to hear him speak if you positioned the seminar as a liberation event. Get out of the jail that you're in. If you just say, hey, we're going to teach you about health and water, I don't know, 100 people might show up, and they're all going to be dietitians. But if you say, hey, listen, are you tired? Are you settling? Are you exhausted from the same thing you're doing day in and day out? Do you feel that you're worth more? Do you want a path to make that happen? Come talk with us.
Yeah.
And I know I'm just thinking, when you fish, you've got to use the right lure, right? You've got to use what that fish eats. And very, very few Enagic fish drink water yet. They don't know that they need to change their water.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know the old adage about a guy, he goes as a shoe salesman. He goes to this deserted island, and the first salesman that gets there says, oh my God, nobody here wears shoes. He gets on his phone, calls up the home office and says, guys, we're screwed. None of them wear shoes. I'm coming home. And then the next salesman gets to that same island, looks around and says, dials up the home office, says, guys, we're going to hit it big. Not a single one of these guys wears shoes. We're going to dominate the market, because none of them know. So, you know, look at it that way. That's the market that you're given.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Yes, well, yes, I can see an event coming up, definitely, which will be very, very, very exciting. Yeah. So do you do any trainings? Is there any online trainings as well, like, that we can tap into? I'm just,
Yeah, you know, we've been thinking about that exact same thing from corporate. We used to teach a class called the Esprit class.
Yeah, I mean,
Magic, Success, Personal Relationship, Ignition. And there's talk about putting that online. But here's the one missing link. We haven't figured this out yet. When you go to an Esprit class, it is interactive. And I know you've been to a lot of Enagic events where, you know, I did it. You know, you sit in your chair and you nod your head and you take notes, and the guy up on stage talks and you go, cool, yep, got it. There's maybe a 10-minute Q&A session, but for the most part, you're passive. That's good, but that's only good in a passive educational, let's learn a trait or a skill. Here's how to program a computer. But can you imagine learning baseball that way? And somebody stood up on stage and said, here's how to hit the ball. I need you to hold the bat like this. You're like, I really need to hold that bat. Can I get up on stage? Oh no, there's not enough room up here. There's not enough time. So Esprit is the opposite. We get people in each other's face. They're learning about how human relationships and the dynamics of those work. And then they're learning about primarily what not to say. And that's a big thing. What not to say is often just as valuable as what there is to say. So the most successful distributors that I know are absolutely expert listeners. And you think it's opposite. You think all these network marketers are just great at talking. No, they don't do well in Enagic. These salespeople, they actually burn out. It's the expert listeners who they look across into your eyes and you feel like, yeah, this girl cares about me. She's listening to me. She cares about what's happening to me, and she's vested in this conversation. Not just well, how fast can we get one of these on your, table so I can get paid? People feel that vibrationally; they feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're right. We should look into that more and create a kind of a course that maybe you could take part in it live, because as you said, the morning for you is the previous day's afternoon for us here.
Yeah.
We could do some type of live things where you interacted, and then it's also recorded so that the people that couldn't take advantage could get some value. They might not have been doing, Esprit has 7 different role plays, which you go through and you experience 7 different people. But there is some value to hearing that and saying, hey, I'm going to go home and try this on my husband tonight or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I would be all up for that, I'm sure, everyone.
Yeah.
And we could even look at, to me, like I always talk about how I still, 5 years later, I'm still, learning and watching and doing that stuff as well. So I'm thinking, well, those ones that are really keen, we just make it really early. Early. I mean, guys, you guys are setting your alarm to get out of bed to do it. But before you go, because there's nothing like life.
And I think, just trying to think outside the box here. So I'm really not really a guy's really good with rules and sticking to scripts and everything. But let's say you could get 100 to 200 people there in New Zealand. And I'm talking a mix of distributors, clients, potentials, whatever. If we worked it out with the Australian office, I would fly over, do like 2 days of Esprit training and just have it to be a closing event. Because I feel very confident once I get somebody in the room, there's a 100% close ratio. They're going to join Enagic. Joining Enagic to me is very different than buying a machine. They're 2 different things.
Yeah.
You can buy a machine and not join Enagic. But when you join Enagic, you have to have a machine purchase with you. So to me, joining Enagic means you buy into the philosophy. You're going to go to work. Matter of fact, I call it the mission rather than doing the business. And you're in for all 3 of these healths, not just one. Yeah. So that's the difference between making customers and making business partners.
Absolutely.
So if you want to research that, you maybe put your tentacles out there and talk to your people and say, hey, this guy only said we got to get 100 to 200 people, and Enagic will send them over.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
as distributors, you don't pay for any of that. The only thing we would charge is like a nominal fee, like $20, $25 for the event location to cover that cost. And I think when you charge that little minuscule fee and you don't make it free, totally changes the dynamics. Because when it's free, people come late, leave early. They don't give it worth. You just put a small little $20 value on it. They come expecting greatness.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes, guys, who's into that? Make that happen.
Yeah, so we should do that. And I noticed somebody over here asked about the technology from Sony. I'm not sure. I think that was Shelly. And so Shelly says, is it true the technology came from Sony? I've never heard that. Sony did not develop any of our products. I think they're just attaching the idea that Mr. Hoshiro worked for Sony. So I've never heard that the technology came from there.
Yes, I keep forgetting.
Any other ones that you want to hit on?
Yeah, any questions, guys? Sorry, I've just been so into what you're saying, I'm not even looking at the comments.
I just looked at it. It kind of dinged on my screen here.
Oh.
Hey, Don, so how soon can we get you over here?
Well, why don't you take a look at your schedule? I know that everything with the exception of September is open. What happens in September is we have our 15-year anniversary. It's called the Crystal Anniversary here for Enagic USA. So all of September will be kind of all hands on deck to celebrate. And if you think about it, Enagic really took off with the birth of Enagic USA, which was a good thing because I'm sure that it was a USA distributor who introduced Australia or New Zealand or Europe or Asia. There are only 2 countries which didn't come from Americans, and that was obviously Japan and then, of course, Taiwan. But if you look at some other dates and you warm up the weather a little, we'll show up.
Yeah, so, okay, so I'm putting this out there. I have to.
I was actually just unmuting to tell you, Kelly.
Okay.
Okay, let it out of the bag, Kelly.
Letting it out of the bag.
Okay, good girl. Good girl.
I'm too excited now. All right. So I've been doing a little bit of homework and I'm thinking, gosh, with the momentum, and it's just so exciting. I mean, we've got people ranking. It's just absolutely fantastic. We've got all of you in here just doing a fantastic job. You know what I love is that they're working really hard. They're amazing, getting out there, doing demos, you know, before they even know anything about nothing. And, you know, it's just absolutely fantastic. So that's happening. We've got, gosh, I want to make mention, we've got Shelley and Linda in here will probably be 6 A's next month. That's within 3 months, Dom.
Oh, congratulations. Awesome. That'd be great.
It is fantastic. So I know Enagic, so I spoke with Watari over in Sydney, and I know Enagic have in August they've got a rank achievement kind of meeting going on in Sydney in August.
Okay.
But they've also got like a breakup as well at the end of the year. But I did say to Watari and Ken, I would absolutely love an event here in New Zealand with them coming over and maybe possibly yourself and some other people as well, having an event. So they were all up for that, and I think it needs to be sooner rather than later. So we are looking at
November.
What dates are you looking?
We're looking at either the middle of November or the third weekend of November. So I've just given those 2 dates to Ken and Watari.
Okay.
We will have, that's right, Shelley, we're going to have way more 6 days by then, and we're going to have people just ranking. I mean, it's only just really.
Well, by then you'll have a 6A 2-2, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm 6 days 1 now, so that just happened last month. So yeah, oh my gosh.
Okay. But what I would recommend is, if we can get this strategized, let me come over, teach in a spree on a good weekend.
Wow, awesome.
Ready, and then build toward the next weekend, have Mr. Oshiro come do kind of a capping seminar. Yeah. Let him.
Gosh, that's bloody exciting.
Yeah, but you'd have to guarantee him, you'd have to say, hey, Mr. O, we're going to pack this place. We're going to have 500 people or whatever. And that would give you that energy to ramp up toward the event.
Oh, what do you reckon, guys?
Oh.
Yeah, and
that'd
be absolutely fantastic. So, so we're getting it in motion, and I'm just waiting to hear back. Cool. But they seem to think middle of November would work pretty well. And Don, it's lovely and warm then.
Yes, it is. That's exactly kind of what I was shooting for this summer. So I'm putting a little strategic twist on it.
Yeah. So it will be in Auckland, and it will be somewhere very close to the airport. So it's going to be the access for everyone as well. And the neat thing, Don, I don't know if you've heard, the last 2 years I've had Enagic come over to my little hometown, which is Whakatane, which is a very little 20,000 people. But we've had events here for the last 2 years, and we've had, which has been fantastic, the service technicians come over and do deep cleaning for all our. So I asked them whether they would come over and do that, because for us to send our machines back to Sydney,
it costs a fortune, right?
A fortune, and it's without a machine. So that's worked really well, and they've done 80 machine, so they send the 3 guys over from Sydney, and we hired out a marae, which is where we'll have to show you. We'll have to give you the whole.
We'll give you that experience, Dom.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. They've got masses of sinks, so 7 sinks, and they were just working 3 days full time from morning to night.
Wow.
And the service techs actually came and did a bit of a talk about how to look after your machines, and if this happens or if that happens. So I actually asked if they'd do that again, and they said yes. They will be able to get deep clean, so we'll get a venue very close to the hotel, and so the guys can work out of there, and we can get our machines cleaned at the same time. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, we can get a lot accomplished in a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm in.
Fantastic.
You can't get over all the excitement in this business. Every week or every day, you wake up to this. Oh, shit, I'm bloody excited again. I went to bed last night thinking about building. Shelley and I were talking about how we were going to build. And, I got up this morning, I think I dreamt it, and I got up early this morning.
And it was real.
Do some building. So every day is an exciting day. It's just
that's good to hear.
And we've got plenty of months between now and then. so I can only imagine what it's going to be like by then. So, you know, I'm expecting 500 at least.
Right. And there's tons of ways to drive people to your event that they're not necessarily looking for an Enagic, they're looking for you. And there's ways to use different social media avenues and everything to get those people to you. And then you can say, hey, well, let me tell you how I changed my life. Boom, here it is.
Yeah. Is there any, so with your experience and the people that you deal with, is there anybody that you would recommend that is really good at building up to events to give us ideas on how to get there?
Well, you know, Eli always comes to mind as an event person. He's done something called the GU event, which means freedom. He's done this for a number of years, but the type of event he's always planned has been just epic on a scale. I'm talking $50,000, $75,000 to put on. So if you could parse him for information on, say, hey, Eli, we're talking like $1,000, like $2,000, something real low key for between 200 and 500 people. We don't need 3,000 people there, and, you know, a $10,000 light system and professional cameras. You know, we're talking about a first ever launch of New Zealand hits the road. We've got some 682-2s. We've got some rank advancement to celebrate. I'm sure he'd have a lot of good wisdom to share. And you're in his downline. So it's to his advantage to build it up.
Is it Eli DeFiche?
Yeah. And you can contact him via Facebook. You know, Jelena, his wife, is always approachable.
You might want to come to New Zealand.
Yeah, and then ask him to come over. Say, hey, listen, we're trying to get Mr. O to come over here. Wouldn't it be great if you're standing on stage next to him at the first ever New Zealand big event?
I like it.
Yeah. He's a man. Work to that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll keep coming to you for the man advice.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, Kelly, this event, just a couple of questions. Is this just business builders group, or the minority of the Kangan Water people?
No.
To make the event, you mean like our team, or is it?
Is it open, or is it just?
I would say have an open event. And definitely, if you're going to have Mr. Oshiro there, open it up to everybody, because remember, we don't even have saturation here in America. We have about 600,000 people here in America. That's not even 1%. Now, if we had 22 million distributors in America, I'd say, okay, be careful. But you have no danger of saturating New Zealand. So invite everybody and anybody. As a matter of fact, if your best friend next to you is selling to his neighbor, that only helps you. It spreads the word faster, so people come up to you and say, hey, do you do Enagic? So, well, yes, by the way, I do. So I'd say open it up to everybody, make it open to both distributors and brand new clients. Yeah. A lot of times when we structure pricing for an event, we'll say, hey, for the distributor, it's $20. For the client, it's free. Yeah. Hoping that you'll get people there that we can close, right? It more than makes up for it in the end. And think of it, if you each could bring, say, 5 clients, 5 of your friends, say, listen, I'm going to give you the most life-changing experience you've ever had, and all I need is 1 day of your time, 6 to 8 hours. And if you don't like it, you're free to, go off and go back to whatever you're doing. But if you want to take a chance and you really, really want to change your life, just come listen.
Yeah, okay.
So this would be a business function, not sure, like we were looking at a seminar, dinner, dress up, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I think the one thing you have to be cautious of in Enagic is anytime you get a bunch of distributors together and they start demoing each other, that somehow was improperly taught 15 years ago. The distributors thought, hey, we all get in a room, we got to do a demo. And sometimes I come up upon those and I say, what the heck are we doing? Everybody here has a unit. Why aren't we talking about different things other than the demo? Now, granted, if there's clients there, I totally get that. But most of the events you've been to, ask yourself, are there really clients there, or is it just distributors coming together to kind of socialize? That's actually the last place you need to do a water demo. If anything, I'd like to have somebody get up there and say, hey, here's what the 6A educational allowance looks like, or here's how to get to 6A, or here's what some of the more advanced rank bonuses look like, and put a carrot out there. Let's go get this. I think a lot more of that business training rather than just do a demo. So Obviously, if this event were to have Mr. Oshiro come over and we did invite clients, I'd say have a demo, but half an hour long.
Yeah.
Say, listen,
Well, we didn't have a demo on our itinerary yet.
yeah,
Really, not
here's a
yet.
30-minute demo. We're proud of our product, but we're not going to sit here and give you a chemistry demonstration.
Ah,
We're just going to say, this is our product, and there's
Cool.
3. And you know Mr. Oshiro, have you ever heard him speak on stage? He talks 90% about society, 10% about Kangen water.
wow.
I've never heard him give a technical seminar in my life. I've never heard him talk about hydrogen, barium, selenium, gynium, hominium, donium, whatever you call it. I've never ever said
Great
it once.
strategy.
Yeah, he's never ever gone there.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
That was awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Is anyone else, while we've got John here, is there anything else that you want to ask or anything like that? Yeah. Oh, John, so the next Enagic convention is next year, won't it?
Yeah, probably the next one's either going to be in Okinawa or they're looking at some foreign place. Probably like we haven't had anything in Singapore or Malaysia, some like in the Southeast Asia area. So I think it's going to be in either one of those countries, or as you know, we just had it with Mr. O's birthday party in Okinawa.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll come around to America again for a while. So you do stand a really good chance of petitioning for it if you can get big enough in your Australia / New Zealand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with the convention, is anyone able to go? Any Enagic distributor?
Oh, of course. You can
we
go.
just
You
buy the tickets, book our flights,
Mhm.
fly over.
Yep. It's completely open. Now, the thing that we're having here this September is just an Enagic USA thing, but there's nothing that prevents you from coming and celebrating and saying, hey, we were born from, this is our grandfather. And maybe you can do business here on this side of the pond.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd be hanging out.
Where's it? So that's going to be in
It's tentatively scheduled for September 22nd. We're getting ready to announce that here either tomorrow or the next couple of days. But pencil in that date. It's going to be here in Southern California. A full one-day event. I'm sure we'll have
So we just fly into LAX.
Yeah, you fly right here to LAX. Maybe fly in either the night before or 2 nights. Remember, you gain a day coming here.
Yeah.
Right? Or sometimes you arrive before you left.
And when's the convention next year, Kelly?
Well, that hasn't been decided yet, but it's normally
Okay.
around September 17th because that's Mr. Oshiro's birthday. But I imagine it's going to be sometime, March 17th.
yeah.
So
March.
early next year.
Right,
Okay.
right.
I'll
And I
just put March
expect that
down.
the headquarters unit will make an announcement sometime around like January-ish that they're really certain where they're going to have it.
Yeah.
Better get my Ely ready. It's like a little translator thing.
Okay. This year is flying by. If you think of it, we're already in June. And,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if many of you read the eFriends magazine that we make, but this month's edition is all about what do you do mid-year. What are the things, we got to look at ourselves. We got to take a critical analysis and just say, where do I want to be? And really, where am I? And don't cut any corners. Don't make any excuses. Just say, I need to take a look and I need to up my game. So it's just about mid-year appraisals.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So cool. We'll definitely have to make this happen.
Yeah.
And Kelly, I'll stay in contact with you. We'll work with your home office there. We'll talk to people like Eli, people like your upline leaders, and make it happen.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Gee, we haven't met your upline, Kelly.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to get hold of John, but he's been in Ukraine, but he's back now in California. So yeah, I just,
Really good to meet you, Don.
Yes, ma'am. I enjoyed it, Linda. Thank you.
thank you everyone for jumping on here, and Don, thank you
Thanks,
so
Steve.
much for your time. I'm really
My pleasure.
excited about where this is going to go. So
My pleasure.
and we're recording.
Well,
Yay!
thanks, Kelly. Thanks so much.
Great. Have a good
All
rest
right.
of your day. Thank you.
Ooh,
Take care.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Whoever wants to stay on here for a minute, just to yak.
Bye-bye, guys.
Or should I just end the meeting? How do I do that? Holy moly, guys. How cool is that? We've got, a lot of
Awesome.
really exciting things to kind of, so I'll just wait back for the absolute date. So at least we've got to start with. We've got to find a venue that can hold
that many people.
and then we're just gonna get together and work out maybe like a bit of a committee on who organises this, that and everything, but I just feel like it can be an absolutely huge exciting event for everyone. Because we're building so quick, and you can imagine by November, like,
I rang up Enagic yesterday and I was like, how's the paperwork going? They were like, slow.
yeah, if they can get the paperwork through. So Don, being global communications and stuff, did you email him, Shelley, about Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, I've heard nothing back.
Oh!
Yeah, 2 days I think it's been. But yeah, I'm trying to do it myself, but it's really painful.
We'll get him. No, give him. So he's the global communications.
I'm back.
Sorry,
Sorry.
drop out, Linda.
Oh, I'm gonna mute you. Right.
She dropped out.
Oh, the Shelley dropped
Internet.
out. Okay. Well, I'll message. Yeah, I'll
I
message
dropped
Don.
out.
No, I
No,
did.
no, Linda did.
Oh,
I'll message John. I'll message Don now and check his email. But he's the guy, like if I'm having, like I said to him, processing is so slow at the moment at Enagic and stuff. So he's kind of the one that's doing the firing to Enagic's main headquarters to try and.
Oh, I see what you mean, to try and speed the process up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's kind of the man that we want to get close to. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, he's a really neat guy, eh? His training.
Yeah, so he's really pretty young, eh? I thought the person who was going to be
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
Bushido's
old.
right-hand man, I thought, oh, must be a mature person. He's pretty young.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, really, really lovely, heartfelt, really nice guy. And because he's so close with Mr. Shettle,
Yeah.
you can tell the values are just
Yeah.
so.
Now I understand Oshiro's philosophy.
Yeah.
And it really hit me then, and I thought, oh my goodness, that is so cool. You reckon, Shelley, talking about the philosophy, about the lives changing, and then the water. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So then we're just so blessed to be part of this movement. It's exciting. So
Did you also, Kelly? Did you read my message? That hotel doesn't do 300. So,
yeah. Well, I'm going to leave a little bit up to you, Chickies, and
yeah, I'll have a look at some.
Hey, Linda, how big? I never saw them.
The what?
How big are the conference rooms at the Novotel?
Oh, no, not big.
I just come out there.
For what we wanted for when I went to Shelley's,
Yeah.
the only thing is the car park there.
Yeah, the car parks are annoying.
Well, no, there is no car park because you've got the whole of the airport, people going to the airport.
Gotta
It's
pay.
full. So we have to go up and down and look for a car park.
If you go into the left hand, which is a short-term car park, there's usually parks up the back.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people that are coming don't even know that. You will know.
Yeah.
And the short term is not anyone can go there.
Is there anywhere like in the city? Or
It's too far.
Not so
that's far from the airport though.
It's too far for our people.
the conference rooms, they don't like open up into a big,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
A lot of them are
There's
just
another
one
matrix.
room, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have a look. Shelley mentioned something last night. If we end up, these motels can't cater for 300. This is why a lot of our conventions have been at the Ellerslie Racecourse or the...
Oh, I've been there.
the-
I went there
the
once for a
Trot-
wedding. It's
We
quite
may
big.
have to have it there, which is not too far away. It's that only Hunga motorway.
Yeah.
parking's good.
I mean, if we have like a convention area, but we have it, we all stay at the same hotel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
And and we can always get catering in and.
Yeah. Well, I've got to just have a look around at those other motels because there's another one, but it's just opening. So are we going to agree now that we have to, if Oshira comes, then we might have to open it up. So what figures do you think we should be looking at then? So I can 300, 400, 500?
And where would be the best place to have it? Because isn't there more distributors in Australia?
No, we want it in New Zealand. They'll come. Paulie and Etsy, they're all coming. So, you know.
No, but this is opening to the wider. This is going wider, so the Kungdom Kingdom team are the biggest team.
Oh,
and
yeah.
them in Australia.
Yeah, maybe they'd consider doing one in Australia and one in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know.
If they want to do one, yeah, but you know.
I think, yeah, we'll keep it mainly.
I mean, November's quite a fair way away. It's still plenty of time for people to organise tickets to fly back anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but venue-wise, let's say we can only get 300.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, we'll get a venue.
Go bang.
No, we will get a venue. Trust me, we will get a venue.
I think we'll open it up to our team.
We will get a venue. We'll even get a venue for 500. I know there's some in Auckland. There's quite a few, but I don't know about by the airport. That was our ultimate.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
By the airport, there's definitely venues that we can get 300, 500, even 1,000.
Yeah. Well,
but,
what we want to do,
there are venues.
Yeah, I'll get the dates and a few other things there for now, and then I think what we do is what we'd do is, because we're organising it, we're doing it, we're opening this up for our team first, and then there's going to be an extra 200 tickets for other teams.
For other people, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
that way we've got our allocation. Yeah.
Each of our team has ourselves, and we get, and this is all tickets, so we need to make that thing. So either we go, okay, each distributor can, they're coming, and then how many tickets do you want for other people? Kind of thing. And then it's like, okay, we've got our team in.
Have like a pack of 5 tickets or something, and then.
But we're not really sure how much Enagic is going to help us financially.
Yeah, that's what I need.
So we may have to finance it ourselves. So that's why we should take control of it. Because Kungdom Kingdom may not want to take that on as well. So they would be like a guest, and we charge them what it's going to cost us.
Well, I'll talk. Yeah. Well, wait. Or either. So there's 2 scenarios. Yeah. So we could have either like a big meeting or like for our team. And then there's another one that's opened up to everybody. Because even when it comes to like the deep cleaning of the machines and stuff, I mean, that's really for our team. So it's like it might get a little bit. So really, at the end of the day, I have to hear from Watari and Ken what they want to do, and we go with that.
Yeah, I think that Mātātua Marae, where they're doing the Kunga water now, I've just been thinking about it. I actually think they've got about seven machines in the whole premises, 7 or 8 machines in the whole premises. Sinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we'll just backtrack it a bit. I'll just get a hold of Ken and Watari. We'll get a date. We'll get what their thoughts are on it. Like he said, maybe we do our big team big thing, and he comes over, and then a week later it's Mr. Deal for everybody.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be good.
I'll just throw it around a little bit there.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah. I think we're the instigators. We're kind of like what we want first, and then we'll just see what's left for the others. No, that's not very nice.
Hey Kelly, can I talk to you about 6A?
Yes.
Because some of my girls in here are building towards 6A. So I want to do this strategically.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if you just want to watch, you can watch. I just want to, just so everybody's aware. Now this is, one of my centres is ready to go 6A, but I don't want to do it yet.
Yeah.
This is my way of thinking. I have the Annie Spa here. I have the Ukon. Ukon is ready, Annie Spa is not.
Yeah.
Would it be best that, because Ukon will definitely get over 101 plus sales. Like, it's in its 90s now, and there's a lot of applications still waiting. But the Annie Spa is only up to 82.
Right.
So my thoughts are, it'll be detrimental if I activate this one, eh? It's best to wait for that one to go across.
Probably is better to wait so that one goes across, because then you're going to get, yeah.
Because if I activate this one, here, this is what I was thinking. This one's points will no longer account towards this one going 6A.
Yeah.
It will if people back in your like 2A a building and 3A. I mean, that's still sales. So in your Ukon, if people are within the 8, your 8 like so your NESPA is your Ukon. If people in your Ukon, like your 1A, 2A, and you're still in their 8 points, your NESPA's on their 8 points, those are still going towards sales for you.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better? Because you know how when you go 6A, let's say, okay, I'm going to get NSPA 6A this month. So let's say NSPA was ready to go 6A, because I don't want to touch this one. Because I don't want to do something that's detrimental and it's just going to bugger up the build strategically.
Yeah.
So let's say that one's got 101 plus. You've got to do so many sales in a month to qualify for the
3,000.
bonuses, eh?
Yeah.
And if I make this guy a 6A first, that wouldn't help my top centre with those bonuses, eh?
Yeah. No, you are better. You're better to get the NESPA to the 600. And so now, because you're not, even say you were thinking about the Ukon going 6A last month kind of thing, you would have definitely had 10 sales, eh? I mean,
And got the bonus.
You got the
Got the bonus.
So now, are you saying you want to focus on the NESPA to get?
Yeah, I want to like not activate him.
Yeah, until
Yeah, I want to activate this one, make this one a 6A first.
Yeah.
And then do the second one.
Yeah, so
What, the same month, Shelley, or the following month?
No. I don't know. Depend. No. So Kelly, if I make this one a 6A first, the NESPA.
Yeah.
Do they? Let's say NESPA went 6A. I'll activate 6A at the end of the month, end of June.
Yeah.
So do they count all the sales that NESPA has made within June?
Within June. Yeah.
Yep. And that gives me my bonus. Hang on, guys. For those that don't know what the bonus is, I'll bring it up now.
Yeah. So we'll give you the $3,000 bonus.
And I just want to teach my team properly, because I don't want them doing, and it's detrimental to their business.
Yeah.
So that's why I need to ask now, because I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So the month you go 6A, activate. So let's say I activated that one 6A at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Of June. This is like, I'm looking at these bonuses, because guys, these bonuses are guaranteed money for 6 months.
Yeah, for 6 months after going 6A, you've got bonuses depending on the amount of machines that you
personally sell.
Yeah.
And
so,
obviously, here if you have direct sales, you're gonna, and indirect, you still get bonuses. It's crazy.
Is that? Oh, okay. I've just seen that direct sale.
Yeah. So what it means is.
So is that just your direct sales?
No. So say you went 6A, and so say you go 6A in June.
Yep.
Yeah. So in July it will start the bonuses.
Yeah.
So if you had say under 4 machines go in your group, but you didn't do a direct sales, just it was indirect, but they were within your 8 points. So if you had under 4 machines, you'd get $200 just bonus. This happens for months. Yeah.
So where I'm aiming for this, make 3 personal sales.
Yeah.
And then you got the whole team. The whole team might do 10 or might do 15 if they go. If they do. But it's Enagic. We're not getting sales through fast enough, and it's thinking our bonus.
I know, it's shocking. So I'm gonna email Don after this and see what he can do, because he couldn't work out. He's going, everything is like real quick. Why is it taking so long? I said it can take up to a week. And he's like,
no, mine's taking up to 10 days, working days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I still have one outstanding for 2 weeks ago.
Oh no. Really?
So this is not helping with we're putting the
The
work in,
ranking.
but it's
Yeah,
not
it's
helping
hard.
with the ranking, and we
I,
want to hit there, definitely. We do hit there, but we just need them.
Yeah,
in the
I
team,
just got Natasha's application done yesterday, and it's been sitting there for 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, and I just got processed yesterday.
And it's getting to that point, our applications in the Y Warriors are just getting stack, and we're like, don't even know.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay, now this question here. Okay, for Australian, this one. For the new 6A total group units or above, they must be registered in Australia. So does that mean I have to have 51 units sold in Australia?
No, our office.
Through the office.
Through the office.
Okay, cool. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, through headquarters. I see what you mean.
And this is the other incentive on top. And you got to get at least 10 sales in the month of your 6A to get the 3K.
Yeah.
Would that be June or July?
Depends when you activate.
So if you're become a 6A at the end of June, so is it the month of July you've got to get 10 sales?
Oh,
Get
the
the
June.
3,000?
June. So the month that you went 6A, it'll be June. But remember also, if you don't do it, and I don't think they got it here.
Yeah, they give you a chance.
Yeah, they give you 3 chances, kind of thing. So if you don't do 10 sales in your first month, they give you 2 months to do 20, and they'll give you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But,
yeah.
But Kelly, so if I become a 6A at the end of June,
With Shelley.
yeah, with Shelley, if I become a 6A at the end of June, it's the end of June. Do the 10 that I sold in that month,
sales
they accumulate.
Yeah, it's a 10 month. It's a 10 months in the month you go. 10 sales in the month you go. So June.
So the month you activate, you have to have those 10 sales by the time.
So if I did 12 sales this month,
in that same month.
Yeah, you'd get.
hang on, I need 17 sales this month to be 6A. So I'll get my bonus?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, Roger.
It's not direct, guys. As long as it's like within 8 points. So whatever's within 8 points.
Oh, mine are all within 8 points. Shelley showed me last night.
This is getting technical, man.
Yeah, how that but I can't get off her because she collects all the 8 points. So I totally understood it last night. That bad I couldn't sleep. I got so excited.
The thing is, Linda, okay, the units under the 6A downline do not count. So because I activate 6A at the same time as Linda, can she not count any of my points?
That's what it says in there.
That's why you wanted to do the top one first, before you did the Anaspa.
The units under.
Anyone, Alicia.
What's that, Kelly?
No, I'm just trying to work out what your question was. So if Linda.
So Linda's up line. I'm under her. I'm activating 6A at the end of the month. So boom, I'm activating because I'm going to take all the points in the team to go towards the bonuses.
Yeah.
Can Linda? I can't see it, She won't be able to take. She'll have to go work on her other legs, because I'm a 6A coming up.
Yeah, but depending if all those sales if you're taking all the 8 points, then no, it doesn't count.
Yeah, she is.
If it was still in 8 points, they would count.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
So that'll be my 1A, my 2As.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're still selling, you're still getting there within the 8 points. So it's not just because you've got a team that's working on all the ranks.
Bye, Stace.
That will still be flowing up to Linda.
Because then there's Mum that's, oh my gosh, Mum's in the thing too to activate.
Yeah, what's in it? Yeah. How many sales has your mum got?
Oh, I don't know, but she'll have more than Linda because she's got the Y Warriors under her.
Yeah, I mean she might just need one sale to go slimming 6A.
It's like waiting, sales.
It's really hard.
Activate this one this month, activate the next one this month, and then the next one.
But Rose,
can you see, Alicia, how...
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't want to activate
If you do it from the bottom, you cut the whole top lot off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've
But
got
see, Rose has to do exactly what
Yeah.
Shelley's trying to do now
Yeah.
to stay alive as well, eh, Shells?
Yeah,
Yeah, see,
well,
so
it
if
makes the uplines go to work. They've got to go to work now because once you get a 6A in that lane, boom.
yeah.
I mean, you're still going to get part of the educational allowance, whatever it is.
Yeah. And you're still getting that, but you still are getting, you know, like from your 6A and all their ranks, people in their 1, 2, 3, 4, you're still getting those if they're working. But if you just got a 6A that's working without a team, then yeah, you do need to go to work. Because it's not, you know, you're getting something, but you're not getting, you know, but what you want to do is...
I'm going to have to do that with me and Joseph, Shells, when we go 6A. I'm going to have to go 6A first and then
leave Joseph.
And then leave Joseph at the bottom and do
he
him.
He will hit 6A before you.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do. It like how I'm doing it. I got to wait and then just make the other one 6A.
Shells.
Yeah.
I do. When you go, sorry, ladies, because Trevor wants to go and do something. Do you want those books today? When are you doing your demo?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know because I'm really, really sick.
Well, do you still want the books today?
Talk
about it later.
Yeah, because I've got to go get bacon bones.
I've got a busy ass day today too. It's like,
I've got to go, so Shelley can just fill me in with the rest.
Yeah. Hey, Shelley, don't forget to send me that invoice for those books.
Oh yeah, I'm really sick today.
What's up, Kelly?
Look at Kelly. She's like,
Kelly, I've got what you had last week with the sore throat.
Have you been gargling your 2.5, sis?
No, I'm waiting for Hemi to go get me a cup. How you felt last week, Kelly? Is how I feel now.
Honestly, fill up your enhancer. Hey, that's interesting about the salt solution.
Yes, it is. It is.
Fill up the enhancer bottle with 2.5.
Yeah.
Go into the bathroom. It's messy and ugly, but go into the bathroom and just tip, you know, like actually get the bottle and just tip the 2.5, like squirt it up your nose and...
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah. I know what you're doing. We had to do that with my husband after he had sinus surgery.
Yeah.
And it cleans all the crap. Yeah. The water goes up one side, it goes like that, and then it comes back down out the other.
Tell me about that one after. I've got to go, ladies. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, they call it a sinus rinse or a sinus flush.
Drainage or something, yeah. But my mum does it every morning and every night, so she doesn't get sinus and it's working. So
Kelly, I get the bottle, I squirt it up one nostril.
Yeah.
And it comes out the other one.
And just really suck it back as much as you can. You want that to go to the back of your throat and your up here as much as you can, and it will really clear it out.
And just breathe through your mouth when you do it.
And gargle it.
And gargle it as well. And have a spray bottle just continuously gargling. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I've got to go.
Yeah, same. But anyway, I better do the invoice. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Everyone.
See ya. Hey, Jax.
Hey, Kelly.
I'm thinking I should have stopped the recording after dawn. That's been going on forever.
Oh, good.
I wonder if you can back that up.
And stop it.